I'm Jeff Gordon, driver of the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet. EA Sports. It's in the game.
NASCAR 2006, total team control.
Well, Jeff, last year at Loudon, the caution came out, and it was a green-white checker. You're all over Kurt Busch. Tell us, how did you try to get by him?
Well, he had a good car, and I thought, our last chance was to do it on a restart. My car would really start fast right after the green, and I had a couple shots at him. I probably would have had to taken him out to win it. So, unfortunately, we had to take second place. But I don't know. They might think of doing it a different way. It might work better.
Maybe you can change history. Can you get in Jeff Gordon's car? Green-white checker, Loudon, New Hampshire. Take his car to the win. EA Sports, it's in the game. Well, Matt, the Nextel All-Star Challenge, what a big race, and you go on to pass Ryan Newman for the win.
Yeah, it was a great race for us. I remember that day we were catching Ryan. We were getting up close to him and couldn't quite get by him. So I got real close to him and took the air off his spoiler a little bit and got a little sideways, and I was able to slip underneath him and get away.
Well, here's your challenge. Can you do it? We're going to put you, the player, in Matt Kenseth's car. Now, with 2 laps to go, remember, you're going to receive a bump from Ryan Newman. Can you hold on to it? Can you do what Matt Kenseth did? Can you win the All-Star Challenge? EA Sports, get in the game. Mark, last year at Dover, it was dramatic. You were leading. You had to hold off Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr. with 9 laps to go, and you did it. What did it feel like?
Oh, it was awesome. It was a great feeling to win. I knew if I just kept the car on the bottom, kept my concentration, didn't give them a shot at it, that we could win.
Mark Martin's always totally confident. Can you be confident? We're going to put you in Mark Martin's car with 9 laps to go, and we're going to see if you can be up to the challenge. EA Sports, get in the game. Well, Joe Nemecheck, what a great weekend at Kansas City. I mean, you win the race with a hard-charging Ricky Rudd right on you.
It was definitely a fun weekend. Winning the race on Saturday in our Cellular One Chevy was really neat, and then coming back on Sunday with the Army car, pretty special. You know, having the Army and then Ricky Rudd with the Air Force right behind us. You know, I didn't know he was gaining on me that quick. I was trying to conserve gas, and there was a lot of crazy things going on, but no one told me he was coming. And then all of a sudden, next thing I know, he's up beside me. And going in those last 2 laps, I drove it off in the corner as deep as I could stand, and I said either it's going to stick or we're going to crash. And it made it around the corner, and we beat him back to the start-finish line.
And made history. Okay, this is your challenge. We're going to put you in Joe Nemecheck's race car. We're going to give you 2 laps to hold off a hard-charging Ricky Rudd. Can you do it? I think you can. Get in his race car and hold off Ricky Rudd. EA Sports, get in the game.
Hold your position. Going outside. Run, you gotta run right side. Clear. Run, high 5. Clear outside.
Kasey, it's been a long time since we've ever seen anybody dominate like you did at Lowe's Motor Speedway. You led 207 out of 267 laps. How did you do that?
We had a great race car that day. It was it took a couple laps to get going. Usually I think Ryan Newman got the lead at the start of the race, and it took about 5 laps, and then we could drive up through on sticker tires, get the lead, and just drive away from the field. It was the best car I ever drove handling wise, and just a fun race. We led a bunch of laps and ended up blowing a tire at the end.
You blew that tire. Did you have any signal that you were going to blow a tire and hit the wall?
No, I didn't. We had another vibration at the same time, and it was so I couldn't feel any tire going down or anything that was going on there, and it just ended up happening.
Well, they said on TV that he had a vibration. We're going to change history. We're going to give you the opportunity to get in the fastest car. We're going to put you in Kasey Kahne's driver's seat. 5 laps to go. We're going to put you in 5th spot. See if you can do it. EA Sports, get in the game.
Still got 4 more spots to go. Come on. Okay, bud. Outside. going, buddy. Woohoo! That's the real deal right there.
Well, Kevin, at Talladega last year, you were leading on lap 186. Dale Jr. got by you.
Well, I think the biggest thing you got to do is make sure you set yourself up. Once he got by, you got to make sure you drop yourself back a couple car lengths and make sure we got a good teammate behind us with Jeff Burton, and he's going to give you your only chance that you've got. Make sure you set yourself up for the last pass coming down the back straightaway. Give yourself a little bit of room and get a run at him.
So can you do it? Can you change history? Can you get in Kevin Harvick's car with number 31, Jeff Burton, behind you? You're going to be in Kevin's car. Can you change it? Can you do it? Can you put him to victory lane? EA Sports, it's in the game.
Buddy, just one more spot to go. The 31 car, closing the gap behind you. Can't do that for you. Locking with another driver. Runnin Jr. high and five. Yep, that's an easy one. Double time. Stewart. Let's go long time. There you go, all clear. Sure thing, we'll make it happen. It's a bit of a down zone. Can't work with you. All right, bud. Here's a block for you. Oh yeah, we got this one beat. Way to go.
Jamie, last year at Lowe's, you and Jeremy Mayfield running side by side. You guys get loose. Sterling comes by on the inside. Tell me about it.
Just the last couple of laps of the All-Star Open, and my car was loose from the get-go, and Jeremy got up underneath me and took all the air off my spoiler, and I got loose and he got loose, and we both checked up, and Sterling was coming and just had the momentum on us and got by both of us.
Okay, we're going to give you a chance to change history. We're going to put you in Jamie McMurray's car, and you're going to have a shootout. Can you hold off the guys? You're going to be on the outside of Jeremy Mayfield. EA Sports, get in the game.
All right, here we go. You got the lead.
Well, Ryan, last year at Martinsville, it got pretty wild at the end. You were trying to get by Jimmie Johnson's. Tell us about it.
Yeah, track position's everything in Martinsville, and we didn't have track positions, so we tried to do our best to get around him, and had Jamie McMurray breathing down my throat. So difficult situation, trying to make the best of it.
Okay, we're going to give you a chance, the player, to change history. We're going to put you in Ryan Newman's car. We're going to give you 4 laps. Can you change history? Can you take Ryan to a Martinsville win with Jamie McMurray beating your bumper off? EA Sports, get in the game. Michael, last year at Lowe's, you were really fast. You restarted third, but you finished second. Tell us that scenario.
Man, when they lined up for that final restart, I knew the world depended on getting off the line in a hurry. Jimmie Johnson had been untouchable all night long. Nobody thought they could do anything with him. Jamie McMurray was right in front of me, and I had the whole world lined up behind me. Been running in the top 5 all night long. Thought, you don't do it now, bud, it could be out of here. Could lose this top 5 finish. So the pressure was on the restart. Had a great restart. Got around Jamie and set sail for old Jimmie Johnson.
Woo, and it's your chance to change history. Are you ready to get in my buddy Michael Waltrip's car? Are you ready? Are you up for the challenge? You get in Michael Waltrip's car at Lowe's and change history. Can you take his car to the win? EA Sports, get in the game.
Number 42 is looking for the pass. You're both sides, you're all clear. Johnson is outside. Carlos, okay. Wow, big win. You okay? Okay, we're clear.
Kasey, last year at California, you almost won the race. You were running third, trying to get by Mark Martin to get to Elliott Sadler. Tell me about that race.
We started out with a really good race car. Run up through there throughout the race. We run back and forth with Mark and Elliott, and there at the end, it got dark out. We started getting tighter and tighter, and I was basically doing all I could to get the car to turn off the corner and to try to beat Elliott. Just didn't get it done.
All right, well, we're going to put you in Kasey's car. Remember, it's getting dark. Handful of laps to go. We're going to put you in Kasey Kahne's car. You got to get by Mark Martin and eventually get by Elliott Sadler. See if you can change history. EA Sports, get in the game.
Get up on the wheel now and win this race. McMurray, shadow behind you.
Busch, a dream weekend for you in the Cup race at Vegas. Your hometown where you were born. What was it like to hold your brother off in those closing laps?
It was awesome. It was a goal that you always dream of course, beating your brother in any race. But we were trying to get that win, couldn't quite beat Jimmie, but to keep Kurt behind us, that was the main goal right there.
Well, Kyle Busch did it. He created a dream that came true. Now it's up to you. Here's your challenge. You're Kyle Busch. You have to hold off your brother, Kurt. You have 3 laps to do it. Can you do it? EA Sports, it's in the game. Well, Jeff Gordon, that day at Martinsville was incredible. You had a tire issue. You come from 3 laps down to win the race.
Yeah, we broke or had a wheel come loose, and it took us some time to get it fixed, and we lost another lap in the pits. So, we'd already been down 2, went down 3, but we had such an amazing car. Getting those first 2 laps back wasn't so bad. We got good track position on the inside. We had fresher tires and some of the leaders. Boom, we were able to get 2 laps back. But that last one, having to work our way up through the lap cars, then get up there, then get the lucky dog. We were pretty fortunate on that. Of course, then our work wasn't done yet because we had to go to the tail of the lead lap cars, and it took us. Luckily, our incident happened early because it took us so long to finally work our way up to the front. Then there at the end, it was just a great car, great racing. Kurt Busch and I, had an incident, got together, but we were able to get by Mark Martin and then go on and get by Sterling, who had older tires. And once we got out front there, I thought it was all over. And then they had the caution. I had Kasey Kahne running us down. So it's never over till that checker flag waves.
When the end of the race was approaching and you knew you had to come around Kurt Busch from your incident earlier in the race, were you afraid that he might flatten the tire?
I was really, I was curious and nervous at the same time because I saw him running around the track trying to finish out the race, and I had a pretty good idea that he wasn't going to make things easy on me, but I wasn't sure as to what level he was going to go to. So, first I went to pass him on the inside, and he about drove me in the wall. So I was like, okay, he's going to make me go the outside. I went the outside of him. I said, I know he's going to do something. Sure enough, he ran into me on the front straightaway, and luckily it wasn't hard enough to ruin our day, but definitely hard enough to get my attention.
Okay, well, we're not going to make you start 3 laps down, but what we are going to do is put you in one of the greatest short track drivers' cars to ever live. 6 wins at Martinsville. Can you get in Jeff Gordon's car and hold off a hard-charging Kasey Kahne, Ryan Newman, Rusty Wallace? Can you do it? EA Sports, it's in the game. Well, Michael Waltrip, you had an incredible run at Phoenix, Arizona. You came from 28th to 2nd in no time. Tell us about that day.
Wow, just a great car. I qualified terribly, Kenny. I was distraught after Friday's qualifying. I thought, how could you take a winning car and qualify 28th with it? But it gave me a lot of inspiration and motivation. I knew I had to get to the front without getting in a crash. I knew I had to get there in a hurry to make sure that I didn't get in a crash. And once I cleared up to about 6th or 7th, I knew we had something special for the race.
Well, what about at the end of the race? You got raved reviews from everybody throughout the media for hanging it out sideways off the corner. Did you realize that you had control, or did you think you might lose control?
Well, I was just surprised. I made such a good run on him, and I guess you know how you get greedy, and I gave it a little bit more gas than it wanted at that time, and the thing slid sideways on me. But it didn't bother me any. I felt like I just caught him, and there was still 10 or 15 laps to go. I could pass him. I knew I could. And then, you know, Kurt's the Nextel Cup champion. He's a great driver, and he just was able to run well enough for me, just well enough for me not to be able to get there. It surprised me. I thought I was going to win, but he's tough.
Michael Waltrip just about won. Now, we're going to give you a chance to change history. Can you get my buddy Michael Waltrip's car and do it? We're going to give you a chance to line up behind Kurt Busch. Change history. 3 laps to go. Can you win the race? EA Sports, it's in the game.
Yeah, buddy. Just one more spot to go. Carnage is all over your back bumper. No chance right now.
Michael, in the Gatorade 150, it was incredible. It was drama. You passed Dale Earnhardt on the last lap to the checkered flag. Tell us about it.
Well, anytime you have success in restrictor plate racing, you got to have help coming from somewhere. And as we headed down the back straightaway, Dale Jr. had about a car length lead on me, but I noticed the cars behind me were closing fast. Mike Skinner right on my bumper, and I thought, man, they might just push me there. And as we exited turn 4, I was able to slide up on the outside of Dale Jr. and get alongside of him far enough to where when I left turn 4, I thought, I might just make it. I'm not sure, but I might. And wide open to the start-finish line and won by a foot or two, and that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Okay, now are you up for the challenge? We're going to start you in turn 3. Do you want to be like a 2-time Daytona 500 champion? Do you want to pass Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming to the checkered flag? You can do it. EA Sports, get in the game. Bobby, last year at California, it was really dramatic. You're running second, and then tell us what happened.
Well, Kenny, that was an awesome race for us. We struggled a little bit early. We made a run on Jeff Gordon there at the end. We're coming up fast on him, and I had no idea that we were going to be that close on fuel. But not that it mattered, because the only way you're going to pass him is to run as hard as you can. I got to him on the last lap and run out at the start-finish line, basically going into turn 1, and blew my chances of beating him. I don't know if I could have saved fuel or not, but if I had to save fuel, I probably wouldn't have got by him. So that was one of the hardest races I run there at the end. It was real hot, good race, and just came up short.
Well, we're going to give you a chance to get in Bobby Labonte's car, change history. You get in the game with EA Sports, get in his car, and take a run at Jeff Gordon and win the race. Junior, the nighttime race at Bristol, I mean, you were dominant. What would have happened if they got back on your bumper?
Well, we led a lot of laps, and we had a long green flag run there, about lapped the field. But I don't know exactly what the car would have done. I think I had a good enough car to hold them off, and if they'd have tried to get around me, we'd have had done some blocking and some beating and some banging.
Okay, here's your challenge. Can you get in Junior's car? I mean, this guy was incredible that night. Your challenge is to get in Junior's car and win the Bristol race just like he did. EA Sports, get in the game. Well, Mark, once again, it was a nail-biter at Michigan. You were trying to win the race. You used a little bit of pit strategy trying to beat Greg Biffle. Tell us what was going on.
Well, we really thought if we could get out in front of Biffle, we could stay there. We had been strong all day, and our strategy was to take 2 tires, and he took 4, and we were trying to get out in front of him, and we had an awesome car. We thought we could stay there.
But it was a really quick pit stop, and it was challenging just coming out of the pits. Set us up. How close was it to beating him out?
Well, when we came out of the pits, we were right side by side. We didn't know for sure who was going to, be in the lead when we got back out on the racetrack. But as it turns out, Biffle got out in front, and we just give them everything we've got.
Okay, Greg Biffle beats Mark Martin out of the pits. We're going to give you a chance to change history. We're going to put you in my buddy Mark Martin's car, and you're going to come from the back on 2 tires. See if you can do it and win the race. EA Sports, get in the game. Well, Dale Jarrett, you're a 2-time winner of the Brickyard 400, but last year you finished 2nd.
Yeah, it was a great race. Elliott and I both had great race cars, but there was a young man that's won that race a few more times than everybody else, Jeff Gordon, we were trying to chase down. We could get to his bumper, but we were having a really hard time getting around him.
Okay, well, we're going to give you, the player, a chance to change history. Can you do it? Can you get in Dale Jarrett's car and pass Jeff Gordon with 2 laps to go? And also, by using your interactive crew chief, can you get in Elliott Sadler's car and make him finish 2nd to Dale Jarrett? Can you give Robert Yates Racing a 1-2 finish? I know you can. EA Sports, it's in the game. Greg Biffle last year at Homestead, the last race of the year, you ignore everybody's hype about the championship. You make a last lap pass to win the race.
Yeah, we had a really great car, and you know, it was just that last restart. I knew that was the only time I was going to get the win, and moved up around Tony Stewart on the last lap there, and just concentrating on winning for the National Guard car, and got the thing in victory lane. It was an awesome win for us, second one of the season, so we're excited.
So the challenge of that player out there is to get in Greg Biffle's car and make a last lap pass on Tony Stewart. Now, do you have any pointers how the player can do this?
Yeah, watch out for Jeff Gordon behind you. Move up on Tony Stewart going into one, and keep the throttle down. And don't let Jeff Gordon bother you in the mirror, and keep digging to the checkered flag.
All right, now you can do it. Remember, get in Greg Biffle's car, make a last lap pass, pass Tony Stewart, then by using your interactive crew chief, switch over to Kurt Busch's car, make sure he finishes no worse than 5th, and make it an all-Roush racing day. EA Sports, get in the game! Tony, at Watkins, Glen, you were totally dominant, but you had Ron Fellows a couple seconds behind you. You were totally dominant that day.
Yeah, we had an awesome car, and it was just one of those days where once we got out front, I could run my own pace and take care of my brakes and make it last to the end.
And you also were a little sick. How did you overcome that?
Just had to kind of grin and bear it, I guess. Definitely didn't feel good, but when you have a car that drove that good, it's definitely something that helps you make it through the day.
So can you be as tough as Tony Stewart? Can you feel bad the night before and still get in that race car and win the race by over 2 or 3 seconds? Well, we're going to give you a chance. Get in Tony Stewart's car, have Ron Fellows line up right behind you, and hold Ron Fellows off for the win. EA Sports, it's in the game. Well, a 4-time champion, Jeff Gordon, on lap 11 of the Nextel All-Star Challenge at Lowe's, you couldn't make your way through that wreck in turn 1.
Well, I couldn't, but maybe they can. You know, it looked like I was going to miss it. I saw the teammates get together in front of me, and I got on the brakes, and they just couldn't get slowed up behind me and got in the back of me. So let's see if these guys can find that hole that I obviously missed.
Maybe you can. Can you change history? Can you get in Jeff Gordon's car and take him to another All-Star win? EA Sports, get in the game. Tony, at Loudon, New Hampshire, Robbie Gordon intentionally wrecked Greg Biffle, as shown on national TV. You were in the wrong spot at the wrong time. You center punched him, ended your day. How aggravating was that?
It's definitely aggravating, especially when it's the first race of the 10-week stretch in the race for the chase of the Cup. So it really put us at a big deficit right off the first race.
So did you want to get out of the car and find him and go after him?
No, I wanted to try to figure out how I could fix my car, hopefully, and try to get back out, but the damage was pretty heavy.
Thanks, Tony. Well, listen, here's your challenge. We want you to do a wreck avoidance. You have 1 lap. Get in Tony Stewart's car, miss the wreck, and make it back around to the start-finish line. EA Sports, it's in the game. Jimmie, last year in the Pepsi 400, you and Jeff Gordon made a run at Dale Earnhardt. You were able to push Jeff Gordon to the win. Tell us all about that race.
Well, at the time I was hoping I was going to end up with the trophy, but Jeff ended up with the trophy, and you know how that works out. But you know, you have to make a decision who you're going to follow and who you're going to work with. And then if you two are able to get to the front on the white flag lap, you try to get by that guy at that point in time. So my teammate being in front of me, we were trying to, do away with the DEI dominance. Lined up behind my teammate, we were able to get by the 8 car and pull, get back in line and be single file. I put a run on him there at the end, trying to get by him on the last lap, but just couldn't get it done.
So Jimmie Johnson made the decision to work with Jeff Gordon. Now we're going to give you that challenge with 2 laps to go. Can you push Jeff Gordon to the win? EA Sports, get in the game. Jeremy last year in incredible, dramatic fashion. Everybody was on the edge of their seats. You had to lead the most laps. He had to win the race to put himself in the race for the chase and have a run for the championship. Tell me all about it.
Man, it was a tough night, you know, and I remember going into that race going, okay, all we got to do is lead all the laps, you know, win the race, that's it, and which is a tough thing to do in this sport, and we were able to do that somehow, and, you know, it just come right down to the end. I mean, it was like 10 to go, I think. We're second behind Kurt Busch, and, you know, it led a lot that night, and Kurt runs out of gas, puts us right in position to win, but the last 10 laps had to be the longest 10 laps of my career, and knowing that after we won the race that we were in the chase, that was just amazing night for us. Pretty cool.
Well, he was the first person in history to actually make it on the last race of the race for the chase. With 10 to go, it was dramatic. We're going to put you in the race for the chase. 2 laps to go. You, the player, are going to try to hold off the whole field. Can you do it? Can you hold off the whole field with 2 laps to go in Jeremy Mayfield's car? EA Sports, get in the game. Mark, last year at Pocono, it was exciting once again. It's always exciting with you. You were running down Jimmie Johnson. Only the caution came out and you ran out of time. What did it feel like trying to run him down to try to win the race?
Well, it's really exciting when the clock's running and the time's running out, you know. I just I love that feeling.
Okay, Mark, we're going to put those fans in the game. We're going to give them a chance to change history. How do they need to make this pass on Jimmie Johnson?
I want you to get going on the straightaway, on the front straightaway, and get lined up right behind him. And then right late in the straightaway there, I want you to wait till he lets off the gas, and then you pull to the inside, stay in the gas for just a second, then get on the brakes really hard and get under him going into 1. You do that, you got him.
Boy, that's exciting. I got goosebumps on me right now. All right, you're going to change history. Get in the game and win the race. Kurt Busch last year at Lowe's Motor Speedway, coming off of turn 4, you had to avoid a wreck, and it was incredible. How did you do it?
It's getting towards the end of the race, and your heart's beating because you want every position for the chase. You want every 5 points you can get. And I come off of 4, and there's smoke everywhere. Cars piling into the fence. There's one spinning right on the edge of the grass. And I'm looking at it. The best thing to do is I've got to get out of here. And so I went through the grass. Now, I guess the challenge is to stay on the racetrack and make sure you can make it through there. But it's the emotions of the end of the race, and every position counts, and you have to make that split-second decision to go straight through there.
Well, Kurt Busch is a champion, and he avoided the wreck, but here's your challenge. Can you avoid the wreck? Can you come off at turn 4 at Lowe's and make it through there and go on and win the championship? I think you can. EA Sports, it's in the game. Jeremy, last year at Chicago, it was pretty intense. You were coming down the front straightaway. Your teammate, Kahne, had a big wreck. How did you miss that wreck?
Man, it's one of those deals, Kenny, where you just kind of, smoke's flying, the people are spinning in front of you. I seen my teammate going sideways, getting ready to get in the wall, and I just cut left and was hoping nobody was underneath of me, and there wasn't, and just barely missed it.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. Now, we're going to give you a chance to get in Jeremy Mayfield's car and do what he did. Now, you have to stay on the track. You cannot go through the grass. Now, can you do what Jeremy Mayfield did? Can you miss the wreck? EA Sports, get in the game. Well, Rusty, you're the king at Bristol. You've got 9 Cup victories there. Last year, you were involved in a little bit of a wreck. Tell us about those wrecks, how tough they are at Bristol.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, yeah, I was involved in a little bit of wreck right there at the end of my day, but Bristol is so tight, you're running around there almost 15.270 laps per lap. That is fast. And I tell you what, if somebody has one little problem right in front of you, they're going to take you with them, and that's what happened to me.
Wow, what a challenge. Now, are you up for it? Can you do it? Can you get in Rusty Wallace's race car and make it through that wreck without going on the apron? That's the rule. You cannot go on the apron. You can get in Rusty Wallace's car and miss the wreck. EA Sports, get in the game. Greg Biffle at Texas, you were dominant, but wrecked your primary car. What happened?
We ran over something on the racetrack, blew a right front tire, got in the fence really hard. It was unfortunate. It was a really fast race car, so we had to go to the backup car and start at the back of the field.
So you take the backup car, you win the race, but at the end he had to overcome Kasey Mears, who beat him out of the pits. When you came out of the pits, how in the world did you get past Kasey Mears?
He took on 2 tires, so we took on 4. And so he was in front of us. We had a faster race car than Kasey, but we knew we had to get him right off of the green. So right on the bottom of the racetrack, right up on his bumper, try and get him off the bottom and get a run on him off the corner, get beside him and take his line away getting in the next corner.
Well, can you be one of the newest superstars like Greg Biffle? This guy is getting the job done. Already a lot of wins in the Cup Series. We're going to give you 3 laps to do it. Can you pass Kasey Mears with 3 laps to go? EA Sports, it's in the game. Junior, last year at Talladega, I mean, it was drama all over. You're trying to close in on Jeff Gordon for the lead, but the caution comes out.
Yeah, it was tough, Kenny. We didn't know who had won the race for a couple laps there, and I thought I had the win, but apparently the caution come out. I was just a few feet shy of passing Jeff around turn 3 and 4.
Okay, we're going to give you a chance to change history. Can you do it? Can you get in Dale Jr.'s car, start behind Jeff Gordon? Your objective is to get in front of Jeff Gordon and have a nose ahead of him when the caution flies. EA Sports, get in the game. Well, Ryan, last year at Michigan, you have wore out tires. There's 4 laps to go. There's a restart. How did you hold off the field to win the race?
It was tough. I just had to look in the mirror and get a good restart and hold off the competition. We had a really good car, but we had old tires, and we'll just have to see what we can do.
Okay, here is your challenge. We're going to put you, the player, in Ryan Newman's car. You have 4 laps to hold the field off. Now, Ryan has wore out tires. Can you do it? Are you up to the challenge? EA Sports, get in the game. Well, Kurt Busch, on your way to the 2004 Nextel Cup Championship, you were at Homestead and it wasn't easy. What happened?
By no means. The wheel was falling off our chances. What happened was it seemed like it was vibrating in this weird fashion, like you thought he had a blister on it or there were some loose lug nuts, but it wasn't. I mean, the wheel actually broke. The center section came apart, and I backed the pace of the car off a little bit because of that vibration, and then it actually broke far enough to where it wouldn't even turn at speed. So I came down pit road, then the access road, and as soon as I was about ready to pull onto pit road, it snapped completely off, and the car went straight for the barriers. And I still don't know how, to this day, I missed those barriers. Something from above pulled me to the left, and then the tire goes out on the track to get the caution.
Wow.
And then the funny thing is I'm in my pit box getting the 4 tires changed, and Finning starts yelling at my crew guys because he thought one of our tires got loose out onto the track from our pit stop.
And it was yours.
But it was the one that came all the way down the front straightaway.
What an incredible story. Okay, now, here's your challenge. Can you do it? Are you up to it? Can you get in Kurt Busch's car, come out of the pits 28th? In 3 laps, you got to make up 10 spots. You have to get to 18th to help Kurt Busch do what he's already done and win the Nextel Cup Championship. EA Sports, get in the game. Elliott, what a great day at California. You win the race.
That was a great day to kind of get a great restart there at the end and have to hold off a great Kasey, Kahne, and a Martin who had the two best cars all day long. To be able to hold off two great race car drivers like that and actually get to carry my guys in the victory lane, seal the deal for the race for the chase was definitely a great day for us in California. It's awesome.
Well, can you keep Elliott Sadler in the race for the chase? I know you can. Here's your challenge. We're going to line you up in the lead. We're going to give you 2 laps. You have to hold off Kasey, Kahne, and Mark Martin. Can you do it? Can you do it in Elliott Sadler's car? EA Sports, get in the game. Bobby, last year at Pocono, you were running third, running the leader down, and the caution came out. Tell us what that was like.
Well, that was another situation where we were really fast towards the end of the race, and we were catching them, and the caution came out towards the end. And it was like, you know, I wish I had a couple more laps. I don't know if I could have got by him or not, but I sure would have made a heck of a race out of it. And that's a tough racetrack to race on, tough racetrack to pass on, but it was going to be a lot of fun.
Is there any particular corner that we can tell these people out there, the player on EA Sports, to make the pass?
Well, there's 3 corners there, and obviously they're all a little bit different. But I think turn 3, if you can get set up off turn 3 and get you a good run, if you got a good motor and good, not too much drag on your car, you can pass them going into turn 1. And that was my strong point was turn 3, try to get them down the front straightaway to pass them in turn 1.
Okay, we're going to give you, the player, a chance to change history. We're going to put you in Bobby Labonte's car with just a little bit to go. Can you get by Mark Martin and can you get by Jimmie Johnson? EA Sports, get in the game. Rusty, last year at Sears Point, you were really fast. You were running fourth, running Jeff Gordon down only to run out of gas.
Yes, it was a lap to go. We had a great car all day long. We ran as high as second, thought I had a chance to pass Jeff. At that particular time, I was running fourth. Went past the start finish line with one to go, and it ran out of fuel. I couldn't believe it.
All right, we're going to give you a chance to change history. Can you do it? Can you get in Rusty Wallace's race car with 2 laps to go? And can you run down Jeff Gordon? That's your challenge. EA Sports, get in the game. Elliott, last year at Dover, you were running ninth, running real well until what happened?
I had a vibration come on the car, and I thought I had a tire going down. And, you know, running in the chase for the champion, you didn't want to take any chances by tearing up a race car. So I actually opted to pit, kind of made my own call to come in. And when we came in, we changed all 4 tires, no flat. So it was a tough day. You never know, you know, what call to make, but it was definitely the wrong call on my choice, and I had to eat all the points I lost that day. But thought I had a tire flat. I didn't, so I had ended up being a lap down.
Okay, so we're going to give you a chance to change history. Can you get in Elliott Sadler's car? We are going to start you in 9th position. You have 5 laps to go. Can you do it? Can you change history? Can you win in Elliott Sadler's car? EA Sports, get in the game. Well, Carl Edwards, you changed history. You were only a handful of drivers to win both races in the same week. You won the Busch race and the Cup race. Tell us about that Cup race.
Oh, wow. The Cup race was unbelievable. I mean, the whole weekend was just amazing. To win on Saturday with our charter Ford, it was the biggest day of my career, and then to turn around and have that last lap pass with Jimmie Johnson and win in that Cup car, I mean, it was huge for Scott's, for Ford, for me, and to do it in the fashion we did was just amazing. I'm still, excited about it every day.
Tell us about that last lap. You get the white flag, you're headed into one. You knowing what you're going to do at that time or not?
I kind of had a plan. I thought however high he goes, I'm going to go higher. There's got to be some grip up there, and I'd felt it the lap before, and I wasn't really sure how it was going to work out, but I thought it's all or nothing. I mean, you don't get a chance to win these races very often. I just went for it.
Well, here's your challenge. Can you get in Carl Edwards' car? We're going to give you one lap to pass Jimmie Johnson, just like Carl did. You can do it. EA Sports, it's in the game. Well, Kevin Harvick won Bristol, but Kevin, it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't. The morning of the race, we found a power steering pump leaking, and we had to go to the back of the field. So we started in the back of the field. We had to be patiently aggressive, but you got to keep the fenders on at the same time.
Well, we're going to give you a chance to change history. Can you get in Kevin Harvick's car and do what he did and come from last to first? I don't think you can in the handful of laps. So we're going to start you 10th. Can you start 10th in Kevin Harvick's car and make it to the lead? EA Sports, it's in the game.
Let's go. Watch the outside. Clear all out. You gotta run high. Number 19, the firefighter. You're okay. Clear all clear. Number 23, the firefighter.
Greg, at California, you did an incredible job. You led the whole race, but you started getting really loose at the end.
Yeah, the tires were going off the race car at the end of the run, and I took a lot of wedge out of the car, so it kept it really loose, trying to stay right on the bottom of the racetrack, and the guys coming from behind.
Jimmie Johnson was coming, like you just said. He looked like he was really catching you. How did you control that loose race car?
Well, I got a little bit of a distance, and so I was trying to maintain that. I knew they were catching me, but I just needed to keep a couple of car lengths between me to get to the checkered flag. So just keep it on the bottom of the racetrack, baby the throttle off, nice and straight down the straightaway, arc it in the corner, just don't make any mistakes.
Greg Biffle, one of the new superstars in NASCAR Nextel Cup racing. So here's your challenge. Can you drive like Greg Biffle? Can you keep the loose race car underneath you? You have 3 laps to do it and hold off Jimmie Johnson. EA Sports, it's in the game.
Stay focused.
Jimmie, at Atlanta last year, you came out of nowhere. Good top 5 car, but you got by Mark Martin for the win.
Yeah, we had a great race car, but Mark definitely had the car to beat all day long. We got down to the last 2 or 3 pit stops. Chad had great pit call strategy, made some good adjustments to the race car to where I was able to find some speed to hang with Mark, and it all worked out in the end. I mean, it was a wild day dealing with a lot of emotions with the tragedy of our plane going down, and there was 10 angels riding on that race car, and we got the job done.
Okay, this one's going to be difficult. We're going to put you in Jimmie Johnson's car with 5 laps to go. You have to win the race, but using your interactive crew chief, you have to get in the rest of his teammates' cars, the Hendrick Motorsports cars. Get in those cars using your interactive crew chief and see if you can get them all in the top 10. EA Sports, get in the game. Well, Jeff, last year at Watkins Glen, you were dominant, but a transmission failure.
Yeah, we had an awesome car. Just, had everything working our way. We actually tried a little bit of a different and newer transmission, just trying to get a little more speed. We had the speed. Unfortunately, we didn't have the durability.
Okay, but maybe you can change history. We're going to put you 1.5 seconds behind Tony Stewart. Can you get in Jeff Gordon's car? Can you pass Tony Stewart? EA Sports, it's in the game.
Just one more spot to go.
Well, Jimmie Johnson, last year you came within 8 points of winning your first Nextel Cup. Tell us about that day at Homestead.
It was an exciting day. There were so many things that went on throughout the day. The 97 had some troubles. We had troubles. The 24 had a flat tire. I mean, all this stuff went on, so we had this wide range of emotions. And then we get down to maybe 2 or 3 pit stops left at the end, and we're all there together racing hard. And I had to restart late in the race, was able to move up to second. If I would have gotten by Biffle, I would have been the champion. Or if Kurt would have had a little bit more trouble, he would have slipped back. So it was a crazy day. We gave it everything that we could and just came up a little bit short.
We're going to give you a chance to change history. Your job right now is to get in Jimmie Johnson's car and race to the win. Also, using your interactive crew chief, go to Jeff Gordon's car and fend off Kurt Busch for the win and give Jimmie Johnson his very first Nextel Cup win. EA Sports, get in the game. Well, Jeff Gordon, you're a 4-time champion, but now you're a 3-time Daytona 500 winner. What did it feel like to win that third one?
Oh, my God, it was so amazing. You know, such a wild day. I mean, we sat there with a great car in third, fourth place all day long and knew we had some great competition with Tony Stewart and Michael Waltrip, Jimmie Johnson ahead of me. And I didn't know how we were ever going to get by him, but I knew I had to take a chance there at the end and thought it was either going to win us the race or we were going to finish 10th. And the way it just went there at the end, it all worked out. Of course, then Junior came up there and got in the mix as well. So it was a fun race, a great car, and a great effort by the team.
It seemed like a moment in time, like the sun was going down, it was cloudy, and here you prevailed, you know, from like 5th in the pack. Tell us about that move off of turn 2.
Yeah, you know, we started shuffling things up. We had a couple of restarts there, and I had a couple of runs on Tony Stewart that didn't work out because the caution came out. So it was getting late. Junior was behind me, and I knew no matter what I did, he wasn't going to go with me. He's either going to pass me or I was going to have to try to pass the 20, and he was probably not going to go with me, and that's what happened. I got a good run on the restart, had momentum. I just wanted to keep the momentum. I went to the outside of the 20, and Junior, you know, stuffed it up on the inside of me, and I was like, oh, no, I'm in trouble. But then I looked in my mirror. They were too wide behind me, and I said, okay, help's coming, help's coming. I shuffled back to about 4th or 5th, and when that help came, that's what shot us up there. Junior ended up getting the lead, but you know, I don't know if he wasn't looking in his mirror or what, but I had a push from behind, had a lot of momentum, and got to his quarter. And once I got to his quarter, stalled him out. I got the lead, and then it was just all about using my mirror and blocking those guys all the way to the finish.
Well, Jeff Gordon made a move that won him his 3rd Daytona 500. Can you do what he did? We're going to line you up for a green-white checkered. You're going to be in the 4-time champion Jeff Gordon's car, and you're going to try to hold the field off. EA Sports, it's in the game. Well, at Texas Motor Speedway, it was a big day for the whole Ganassi racing team. Jamie McMurray finished second. Kasey Mears was fourth. Sterling Marlin was fifth. Kasey, starting with you. You about won the race. Tell us about your day.
We had an awesome day. You know, it was the best race we've had up to this point of the year, and you know, run second all day long. And right there at the end, we took a gamble on 2 tires, and hopefully in the lead and win the race. But we ended up fourth in the end.
Sterling, for the second week in a row, you got a top 6 finish. You had a great run.
Yeah, we did. We led a little bit early and run top 5 early, and had a wheel come loose. Went down a lap and finally got it back, and could get back to about 8th, 12th, and got that aero push stuff going on, and put on 2 tires like Kasey did at the end, and that was fastest laps run all day, so the car was great.
Well, Ganassi Racing all finished in the top 5. Now, here's your challenge. By using your interactive crew chief, we want you to start with Sterling Marlin's car in 5th spot. Your challenge is to get all the cars in the top 3 by switching back and forth. When the checkered flag falls, we want all the Ganassi cars in the top 3. EA Sports, it's in the game.